Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you to show you exactly how I get my meal preps done. I prepare my meals once a week, and I promised you guys that I was going to do a video showing you exactly how I prepare my meals. So if you would like to see that, then just stay tuned. Alright guys, first of all I just want to go ahead and apologize for coming to you with this video so late in the 90-day challenge, but better late than never. Alright, so let's just go over some of the things that I am planning on cooking for my meal prep this week. This week I am going to do ground lamb. I have some ground lamb here that I'm going to cook. You can use ground lamb, you can use ground turkey, you can use ground bison, ground chicken, you can use regular chicken, whatever. I just choose to use ground lamb because it is the highest in protein, and this is what I have. So normally I mix ground lamb with turkey, but this is just what I have today, so I'm just gonna do all ground lamb for today. All right, so for my grain, I am going to try out, this is gonna be my very first time trying out quinoa. This is the gluten-free quinoa. I got this from my local grocery store. It's supposed to be a complete source of protein. Plus, it's 100% grain. It's supposed to be better for you than brown rice. I usually don't use brown rice, but I am going to try quinoa today. All right, so for my vegetables, I am going to use bok choy. I don't know if you've ever used it, but that's what I'm going to cook for my vegetables, bok choy. I also have broccoli that I'm going to use, and I normally pair it with carrots. And then I also have sweet potato, so that's what I'm going to use today. And then of course I have my red peppers and green pepper, onion, and garlic, and all that is for seasoning up my meat. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so the very first thing I suggest that you get if you're going to get into meal prepping is a rice cooker. This is the Black & Decker rice cooker. This is the one I got from Macy's over Black Friday, and this thing has saved me so much time because it is a rice cooker and is also a veggie steamer. So I just put my rice in here, or my quinoa in here. I'm going to put my veggie in here and I'll shut it down. So let me go ahead and prepare my vegetables and I'll come back. Okay, so I've already put my water in my rice cooker, so now I'm going to go ahead and put the quinoa in here. I only do 3 servings of grain per week because I prefer to eat my grain for lunch and not for dinner. So I'm going to only eat 3 grains, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that 2 days out of the week I just do raw veggies and fresh fruit and raw veggies, so I only need 3 servings of quinoa. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pour that in there now. Just to give my quinoa a little bit of flavor, just a little bit of taste, I'm going to pour a little bit of olive oil in there. Oh. Okay, so now I'm prepping my veggies for the steamer. So right now I have a little carrots, a little broccoli, and some spinach in there. I'm going to use Mrs. Dash salt-free seasoning. You want to kind of stick to seasoning that is salt-free because the less sodium, the better. I'm going to put just a little bit of sea salt in there. Sea salt is the better salt. If you're going to use salt, I would just use a little sea salt. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of ground black pepper on it. All right, so we're just going to mix that up. Now we're just going to pop that right on top of the steamer, plug it up, turn it on. It'll let me know when it's done. Moving on. The next thing I'm going to do is prep my sweet potato. So I just wash off the sweet potato. Come on. I just wash off the sweet potato. Get some regular aluminum foil. I've already preheated my oven to 350. Put that sweet bad boy in there. Wrap it up. And pop it in the oven. Okay, so now while all of those things are cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and season up my meat. Again, today I'm using lamb meat. I'm using lamb meat because lamb is one of the most highest proteins meat substance that you can have, but you can use whatever you like. Just do not use pork, don't use beef, but you can use chicken breast, ground chicken, ground turkey, ground bison. It's up to you. Again, I'm just using lamb because this is what I have, and yeah, this is what I have, so I'm gonna use it. All right, so what do I usually season my lamb with? First thing I use is green seasoning. If you are from Trinidad and Tobago, then you understand what this green season is all about. The green season has pretty much everything green, all your green substance, green peppers, chives, onions, all those things. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of green seasoning. I also have a rosemary bush outside, so I'm just going to season up my lamb with a little bit of rosemary, fresh rosemary. Let me know if you need me to send you some. Rosemary gives it a really, really great taste. Great taste. Okay, I'm going to use some fresh garlic. Again, you can season your meat however you like. Just try not to use salt. Fresh green pepper. Fresh onion. Fresh red peppers. The more vegetables, the better. And you know, you guys know I grew up in a Trinidadian household, so all of this is going in all your meat. All right, so now we're going to add a little onion powder. I know, huh? It's like, how much onion can you get? A little garlic powder. A little Miss Dash's salt-free seasoning. A little black pepper never hurt nobody. And just a little bit of Tony Sancheries just to give it that All right, guys, so I'm just going to mix this whole thing together. I'm going to cover it and put it in the fridge and let it sit while everything else is cooking. And then we will come to the next step. Okay, so now my veggies and my quinoa is done. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out and get ready for distribution. So while all the food was cooking, I decided to go ahead and put out my trays. So now I'm just going to distribute out my vegetables evenly. And I'm going to also distribute my quinoa evenly as well. Everything was cooking. I also did take the time out to prepare my bok choy. So I'm just going to put my bok choy now in the veggie steamer bowl, and I'm going to cut up some garlic on my bok choy. You can season your vegetables again however you would like. Okay, I'm going to put a little onion powder on there. As well, I'm going to put a little garlic powder on there. Now I'm going to mix it up and prepare it for the veggie steamer. All right, guys, so now my bok choy is complete. So I'm just going to serve out my bok choy. And so I already have veggies and all the rest of the plates. So I'm just going to serve it in the remaining plates that I have here. Okay, guys, so my sweet potato is nice and ready. And how do I know that it's ready? Is if you can squeeze it like that, then you know it's ready. So I'm just going to open it up. And as you can see, all the sweet juices is coming out of that thing. Oh yeah. Nice and hot and ready. Sweet potato there. Sweet potato there. And a little sweet potato there. All right, so now I'll just take a little cinnamon and just sprinkle a little cinnamon on my meal. And now I'm just going to let that cool off. Go ahead and get the meat out to prep to cook. Okay guys, so we're at the last portion of the meal prep. And I'm going to go ahead and cook the meat. And now I normally cook it in this little pan right here. This pan is a Fabuware, I forgot what you call it, like a skillet. They call it a little skillet. So I'm just gonna throw the meat in there and get to cooking. I'm telling you guys, I could smell the rosemary, the peppers, the onions. It smells great. Definitely should try lamb meat if you've never tried it. It tastes really good and it's just a break from the norm. Okay, so the lamb is pretty much done. You don't want to let it cook too long and be scorchy and burnt out and dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out and go ahead and distribute it. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and distribute out my meat accordingly. And I like my meat in the middle because I mix it with my my quinoa. I like to mix it, or I like to mix it with my sweet potato. Just gives it an all around good flavor. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it on how I make my meal plans. I did not address portion control, but portion control is very, very important. I've been doing this for a while, so I kind of pretty much know exactly what it is, or you know, what I need for portion control. But you shouldn't have no more than 6 ounces of meat, and then your veggies, you know, you want more, the more veggies, the better, okay? And also, like I said before, the top row is for my lunch meals, so I prefer my grain at lunch so that way when I go to work out, I have a little bit more energy for, you know, with my carbs and stuff like that. And then I prefer 2 veggies. While the potato is known as a carb substance, I just prefer sweet potato, or as in 2 veggies at night before I go to bed, okay? And so then, yeah, there's my meat there. And then I only prepare 6 meals because 2 meals out of the week, like I said before, I do raw veggies and fresh fruit. So that's just it, just fresh fruit, raw veg, no cooked anything. I could prepare, I guess I could prepare, you know, cooked steamed veggie plates, but I just prefer to just eat fresh salad and just eat and go. And so that's pretty much how I do it. Again, you can use any combination of meat. I normally switch it up. I do eat broccoli every week though. I do eat broccoli, but you can switch it up. I eat sweet potato every week, you know, but you can switch it up with brown rice, your veggies, green vegetables. This is just what I found is the easiest for me, and I can get it done and get it out in the way. I get it done and go on with my day. Let's see, between prep time and prepare time and actual finish, I'd say it took probably around 2.5 hours. And so while a lot of the time the things were cooking, I was cleaning around the house and other things like that. And the best thing is I just didn't have to watch it or micromanage the food, and so that's what makes it a lot more pleasurable and a lot more easier to do for me. So that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed this video on my meal prep. Sorry that it came so late, but if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it below. I hope I addressed everything in this video. Other than that, I have 5 more days for my challenge. So you guys, thanks for all your motivation, and as always, thanks for watching. Bye.